Hello, in this activity you will be developing a technology grant proposal. You can be working in small groups. And this grant proposal is like a real life simulation because it's very possible that you'll be doing something like this in the very near future if you haven't done it already. Now you can be working in small groups. And as you may recall from our instructional strategies, when working in small groups, you need to create positive interdependence, individual accountability, and there'll be group processing. So throughout this whole activity that you'll be doing with your fellow classmates, these elements of small group work will be embedded within the activity. Now throughout the activity, you're also going to have checkpoints. As you're writing your proposal, I kind of guide you through the process, and each step is like a checkpoint that is worth a certain number of points. And also you'll be writing your proposal using Google Documents. This is a share space where everyone could go on and type almost the same time and edit each other's work. It's a great tool to use. There's also a grading rubric that I'd like you to look over, and you will be doing a group processing survey, and there will also be an individual journal that you need to submit. Now, as I mentioned, Google Docs is a great tool, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that, and I'll be showing you how to use it. And you can also add comments when you are working in Google Docs. In your course learning management system, when you go to this activity, you can see we have various elements of the activity. You're going to have the intro to the assessment, which is a video overview. We have a link here to the grant proposal. This is the actual process, and I describe in detail what you need to do. So think about this. Accept the challenge. You have an opportunity for a $10,000 grant to bring technology into your schools. You'll be working with a team of fellow teachers designing this grant. And in this grant, there are some key components. Of course, you need your objectives, professional development. What kind of training do the teachers need? There will be some additional training. Also, what kind of learning activities the students will be doing, and so on. So you're going to be putting all these things together. And since you're working in the group, I also have roles I would like each of you to participate in. We need a project director and so on. So you'll be picking these roles. So please read this part over carefully. And I have a PDF of the whole grant process and the checkpoints. Please open that up. There will be due dates for each of these checkpoints, so go back under the due dates link and make sure you know when each of these checkpoints are due. Like for an example, you guys select a title of your project, of your grant proposal, the roles for each of the people on the team, and so we go through and we check off all these things. So look this part over very carefully. And in this link opens up to the Google Documents. It opens in a new window, and you want to make sure you open that, and then you'll see your group number. So whatever group you're in, that group number will appear when you click on that link. And this is a open document. What it is, it's like a word processing program up in the cloud. And anyone in your team could access this, edit it, add comments, and so on. So you can edit the whole thing, but try to just add in where I leave spaces for you to add things. Like for an example, the title of the project. Just delete this and type in your title of the project, whatever it is. iPads, or complete title. And then for each of your roles, you put down the name of the person and also what role they have. And then as a team, you're going to be thinking of the goal of the grant. And then you're going to devise a brief overview. That's checkpoint 1. You put that right in the document, and I can also view this document so I can see your progress. Then in checkpoint 2, we move up a notch. We now have to go in, and each person in the team will need to do some research, and you're going to be listing what kind of research you're going to be doing to find information about this proposal. Then there's checkpoint 3, where you're going to enter in what you find. In this case, 4 to 7 sentences. These will stretch automatically. And then you're going to come up as a team the objectives of the grant. What are your goals? What are you hoping to achieve for your students? And you'll be writing these goals in here. And then we got the final process, and then down here is where we're going to do the whole grant. So please look this over carefully and use the Google Docs to do your actual writing of your grant. And here we have a link to the actual rubric. You will click on that and you will see the things that I'll be looking at in order to evaluate your project. Look that over carefully. And there's also a group processing survey. This is, you'll be doing this survey individually this time, but you go through here and this helps me get a feel of how the group processing was going on, and also gives you a chance to reflect a little bit on what happened during the processing of the members of your teammates in your group. And you're going to also need to do an individual journal. You can click on this link here. I have some questions I'd like you to answer, and you'll be putting your journal the answers to these questions. You can just copy them, paste them in your word processing program, then answer each of them. That'd be the best way to do it. Please put your name on your paper, and then you will submit that in the Dropbox by clicking on this link here. And also, each group has their own discussion forum. So if you want to sort of communicate with each other, it might be easiest to use the student lounge. In this case, use your own particular group's topic board, and in this case it's group 1. You would just go in there and have posts just like you do in any discussion forum. I think this is better in email, because then you could have a trail of what you're asking each other. So I want you to use the discussion forum instead of using email, and I can also see how you guys are progressing throughout this process. I think this should be a great activity. Not only be working together with your fellow classmates and teachers, you'll be actually designing something that you may be able to use in the future. Please utilize all the resources that I provide here and anything else that you can find to help make this an excellent technology grant proposal. Thank you.